Hello, everyone. We're going to allow people to enter the doorway of our virtual auditorium as we get ready to start this important event in honor of Blodwen S. Huber and Elmer R. Huber, and you'll hear more about them in a few minutes, as well as others who are attending this afternoon. I'm watching the numbers rise as people join us. And I think we're ready to go. Let's get started, please. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Rick Page, Dean of the Larner College of Medicine, and I'm pleased to welcome you today to take part in one of the University of Vermont's most revered traditions, the Endowed Faculty Investiture Ceremony. This is our fourth online investiture ceremony that we've held at the Larner College of Medicine over the past year, necessitated by our need to stay safe and combat the current pandemic. While we sincerely wish we could gather together in person, we're pleased and thankful that technology enables us to bring participants together from around the country and the world for significant events like this. Today, we have the pleasure of coming together to recognize and celebrate two members of our faculty, Dr. Sarah Nowak, as the inaugural holder of the Blodwen S. Huber Early Career Green and Gold Professorship in Pathology and Laboratory Medicine, and David J Seward as the inaugural holder of the Elmer R. Huber Early Career Green and Gold Professorship in Pathology and Laboratory Medicine. We're privileged today to have a number of special guests joining us to mark this occasion, including UVM Provost and Senior Vice President, Dr. Patty Prelock, who you'll hear from shortly, and Mr. Jim Keller, Interim Chief Executive Officer of the UVM Foundation. We're also very pleased that members of the UVM Medical Alumni Association Board, the UVM Foundation Board and Leadership Council, the UVM Alumni Association Board of Directors, and the UVM Board of Trustees are able to join us today. We gather today because of the generosity of one of our own, Dr. Sally Huber, Professor Emerita of Pathology and Laboratory Medicine. Dr. Huber grew up in Missouri and received her undergraduate degree from Virginia Polytechnic Institute before earning her master's and doctoral degree from Duke University. She followed with a postdoctoral fellowship at Stanford University. In 1981, she joined the faculty at UVM under the then chair of pathology, the late Dr. John Craighead. Dr. Huber rose to associate professor standing in 1990 and professor in 2000. In 2016, she became Professor Emerita. Dr. Huber is an internationally recognized educator and researcher with primary research interests in the development of viral myocarditis, how viruses interact with humans, and the critical role played by adaptive immunity. She's published over 170 papers, and throughout her academic career has been consistently invited to present her work nationally and internationally. She's also made major contributions to research in the field of cardiac immunology and in diabetes. Expertise she's been called upon to contribute through service on committees of both the National Institutes of Health and the American Heart Association. In her 40 years of service to this institution, Dr. Huber has been a tireless advocate for the importance of research and education across UVM. She's been a primary mentor for graduate students and has served on the advisory committee of many others at different stages in their careers. Commitment to future generations of biomedical researchers is clearly of great importance to her. And there is no greater proof than her establishing the two professorships we recognize today. Dr. Huber, who maintained extramural funding throughout her career, understands the challenges that junior investigators face in securing this support. She herself credits crucial American Heart Association fellowship with helping to propel her early career. A key element behind her establishment of these professorships is to provide this sort of jumpstart funding to help promising faculty members develop into successful basic scientists and physician scientists. And she's chosen to do this in a way that honors the two most important figures in her success, her beloved parents, Blodwen S. Huber and Elmer R. Huber. Elmer Huber was employed by the Southwestern Bell Telephone Company for 49 years, starting as a lineman and telephone installer, and then going to night school to become an engineer, and rising to head the North St. Louis County District of Southwestern Bell. Blodwen Huber was born on a farm in Pennsylvania before moving to Missouri, where she later met Elmer. They were married in 1938, a marriage that lasted 62 years. Although college was not a possibility for the Hubers during the Great Depression, they instilled a deep respect for higher education in their two daughters, Sally and Roberta. As Dr. Huber herself has said, and I'll quote here, "There was never a question that my sister and I would ultimately go to college, and we both always had the complete support of our parents," end quote. The ultimate goal for these professorships is to honor the love of learning of Blodwen and Elmer Huber and to memorialize their deep desire to help each other achieve academic success. I know that the faculty members we recognize today are poised to live up to this expectation and to do so ably and carry on the spirit of the entire Huber family. I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge the work of the University of Vermont Foundation in helping Dr. Huber achieve her goal of honoring her parents' legacy. During the university's most recent campaign, the foundation raised over $581 million for UVM and the UVM Medical Center, including $290 million for the academic health sciences. Significantly, the foundation team has helped donors establish many new endowed positions. Today, the university boasts 130 endowed chairs and professors. 68 of those are associated with the Larner College of Medicine. And we're extremely proud to welcome Drs. Nowak and Seward to that esteemed group today. Appointment to an endowed position is among the highest academic honors the University of Vermont can bestow on a faculty member, allowing the university to recognize and celebrate academic achievement and further encourage scholarly service and excellence. Endowed faculty positions are a tribute to the holder and permanent legacies for the donors who established them. Named chairs and professorships help ensure the quality and strength of our faculty for years to come and permanently reflect the interests and hopes of the donors who establish and support them. Endowed professorships and chairs are also important in recruiting and retaining the most creative researchers, the most effective teachers, and the best clinicians. Exceptional faculty members of the caliber of Drs. Nowak and Seward in turn create a dynamic and engaging academic environment that attracts outstanding students and residents. For all these reasons, on behalf of the Larner College of Medicine, we are tremendously grateful to Dr. Huber for this gift. At this time, it's my great pleasure to introduce University of Vermont Provost and Senior Vice President, Dr. Patty Prelock, to offer her thoughts on this investiture. Please join me in welcoming Provost Prelock.
Thank you, Dean Page, and thanks to all of you for being here today for these outstanding members of our faculty and to honor Professor Sally Huber's wonderful generosity and farsightedness. As UVM's provost, it's my great privilege to take part in this academic tradition and to celebrate Professor Sarah Nowak and Professor David Seward. UVM's strategic vision, amplifying our impact, is built on three interconnected priorities. First, ensuring student success. Next, investing in the university's distinctive research strengths. And finally, fulfilling our land grant mission of service to Vermont and Vermonters. No part of this vision can be achieved without excellent people. Indeed, I would argue that our faculty and staff are the university's most precious asset. In this case, Dr. David Seward and Dr. Sarah Nowak are critical to the Larner College of Medicine's work of enhancing the health and well-being of our community through clinical care, training, and research. These investments in a healthy society are one of the most important and visible ways that UVM is bringing the Amplifying Our Impact vision to life for the benefit of all, especially during this worldwide pandemic. I want to say too, that when a longtime member of the faculty chooses to make such an important philanthropic investment, it says volumes about the quality and character of a college. By creating these professorships, Dr. Sally Huber not only highlights the enduring need for exceptional scholars and teachers in the field of pathology and laboratory medicine, but also expresses her confidence that the University of Vermont will always remain a fitting home for them. For that, we thank you, Dr. Huber. Dr. Nowak and Dr. Seward, you are deeply valued members of the UVM family, and I'm so pleased to welcome you to our growing body of endowed professors and chairs. Congratulations to both of you.
Thank you, Provost Prelock. It's now my pleasure to introduce Dr. Debra Leonard, Chair of the UVM Department of Pathology and Laboratory Medicine, to tell us all here assembled today a bit more about the recipient of the first professorship we are recognizing today, Dr. Sarah Nowak.
Thank you, Dean Page. Dr. Sarah Nowak completed her Bachelor of Science in Physics at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, where her first peer-reviewed publication as a lead author was in the prestigious journal Nature Physics on the maximum angle of stability of a wet granular pile. Or stated another way, why are sand castles more stable with wet than with dry sand? She then completed her master's and PhD in biomathematics at the University of California, Los Angeles. Her thesis research resulted in publications on mechanisms of receptor, co-receptor mediated entry of enveloped viruses, basically developing a stochastic model that describes the process for viral entry into cells by modeling the binding of viral glycoprotein spikes to cell membrane receptors and co-receptors. Her research is especially relevant today as we confront the COVID-19 pandemic. After graduating from UCLA, Dr. Nowak became a scientist at the RAND Corporation, an internationally renowned research organization that develops solutions to public policy challenges to help make communities throughout the world safer, more secure, healthier, and more prosperous. Her first paper, as she stepped into studying healthcare policy at the RAND, was as part of a team creating a microsimulation model for the US Affordable Care Act. Dr. Nowak subsequently generated many RAND Corporation reports on healthcare reform topics, studying healthcare spending in different states in the US, including a report on healthcare spending in Vermont to help inform the Vermont legislature at the time when they were considering the single payer healthcare model that we are now almost under. During her 10 years at RAND, Dr. Nowak also studied and published on breast cancer screening guideline adherence and the impact of physician experiences with members of their social network in how decisions are made with patients. More recently, she is taking a similar investigative approach to understand the impact of social media networks on vaccine hesitancy, again, a relevant topic for the current pandemic. While at RAND, Dr. Nowak published 17 peer-reviewed papers, including in journals such as JAMA Internal Medicine, where her breast cancer screening research was published, and 31 reports for the RAND Corporation, many of which are cited heavily in the literature due to their relevance to healthcare reform, with Vermont on the leading edge. She has received funding as a PI or co-PI from the National Cancer Institute for the impact of providing social networks on breast cancer screening decisions, the Department of Homeland Security for the role of social media in their response operations, and the University of New South Wales for a comparison of international frameworks for evaluating the cost effectiveness of genomic testing. I was delighted when Dr. Nowak agreed to join UVM as part of a joint recruitment between the Center for Health Services Research and the Department of Pathology and Laboratory Medicine, with the goal of building a population health and health services research focus from a pathology perspective, whether in studying the impact of genomic medicine or understanding patient and provider behaviors related to cancer and chronic disease screening. Dr. Nowak is a member of both the Health Services Research Center and the University of Vermont Cancer Center. Since joining UVM, Dr. Nowak has developed strong working collaborations with several UVM research groups, including the Translational Global Infectious Diseases Research Center, the Social Ecological Gaming and Simulation Laboratory, and the Center for Behavior and Health. I am very pleased that Dr. Sarah Nowak is our inaugural Blodwen S. Huber Early Career Green and Gold Professor in Pathology and Laboratory Medicine.
Thank you very much, Dr. Leonard, and congratulations on your leadership of this department and having recruited Dr. Nowak. We'll now present Dr. Nowak with a medallion that marks this occasion and signifies her status as the holder of an endowed faculty position. We hope she will wear this with her academic regalia at commencement and other official university functions. Dr. Nowak, through the magic of Zoom, will you please prepare to receive the medallion? Dr. Nowak is a highly respected researcher, teacher, and scholar. She's dedicated her career to improving the lives of patients and families who face complex and challenging journeys. Through her research, teaching, and leadership, she ensures that we are constantly improving our ability to care for patients. Her work has brought great distinction to the Robert Larner, MD, College of Medicine at the University of Vermont. Dr. Sarah Nowak, the inaugural Blodwen S. Huber Early Career Green and Gold Professor in Pathology and Laboratory Medicine, we honor you today with this medallion, which serves as an enduring symbol of your excellence as you strive to achieve in all aspects of your professional life. Congratulations, Dr. Nowak. I'd now like to invite Dr. Nowak to address us.
Dean Page, Provost Prelock, Dr. Leonard, Dr. Huber, family, friends, and colleagues. I am extremely honored to be the inaugural recipient of the Blodwen S. Huber Early Career Professorship in Pathology and Laboratory Medicine. I first want to thank Dr. Sally Huber for establishing the professorship in honor of her mother, Blodwen S. Huber. Although Blodwen Huber did not initially have the opportunity to complete high school, she greatly valued education throughout her life, encouraging and supporting her daughters throughout their school years and college education. Blodwen Huber eventually obtained her GED and went on to complete some college coursework. I'm extremely grateful that in that spirit, you, Dr. Huber, chose to establish these professorships in honor of your parents to support early career faculty. The period of being an early career faculty member is very exciting, but it can also be full of uncertainty as we work to establish our research programs and seek funding. And I don't think that you, Dr. Huber, knew that the appointment of the inaugural Huber Early Career Professorships would take place during a global pandemic when you initially established them. But the timing couldn't have been better, as the pandemic has added additional uncertainty in our lives as academics and researchers, and in our lives outside of work as well. Receiving the Blodwen S. Huber Early Career Professorship is not only a huge honor, but is also enormously helpful in providing stability and support as I'll develop my research program over the next several years. The Huber Early Career Professorships will continue to be an enormous asset to the department in supporting and developing new research programs for many years to come. I also want to take a moment to thank the people who helped me get here. Like Dr. Huber, I was very fortunate to be supported by parents who greatly valued education while I was growing up. I also benefited from many mentors over the years, from my undergraduate to graduate education, and from many wonderful colleagues and collaborators who have helped me shape my research interests and approaches over the years. Juggling early career and family isn't easy, but it's been made easier by the support of my amazing husband, Deb Majumdar, who's also an assistant professor here, my father and stepmom, Ted and Diana Nowak, and my mother and father-in-law, Maitreyi and Prakash Majumdar. I also want to thank my daughters, Clara and Eris, for always asking tough questions about the world and reminding me why I chose a life of research. Finally, I want to thank the many members of the Department of Pathology and Laboratory Medicine who have provided an amazing academic home for me here. Dr. Leonard, your leadership is inspirational, and I couldn't have asked for a more supportive department chair. Dr. Mark Fung, I thank you for your mentorship and leadership as the Vice Chair for Population Health and Vice Chair for Research, and for sharing your enthusiasm and knowledge, and for being such a wonderful catalyst in helping me make connections within the department, across the College of Medicine, UVM, and more broadly with external collaborators in pathology and laboratory medicine. I'd also like to thank our prior Vice Chair for Research, Dr. Yvonne Jensen Heiniger, for all of her work for the pathology research community here. With this support, I hope that my time in this professorship will honor the legacy of Blodwen S. Huber. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Nowak. And congratulations again. We're now going to turn to the investiture of Dr. David J Seward as the inaugural Elmer R. Huber Early Career Green and Gold Professor in Pathology and Laboratory Medicine. I once again invite Dr. Leonard to tell us more about this accomplished member of her department. Dr. Leonard?
Thank you again, Dean Page. Dr. David Seward grew up in Maine in a large and close-knit family. He obtained his Bachelor of Arts degree in biology and chemistry from Williams College. His undergraduate research resulted in his first lead author publication in the American Journal of Physiology on transcriptional regulation of myosin heavy chain expression. During this time, Dr. Seward also did research at Mount Desert Island Biological Laboratory in Maine, studying a small marine vertebrate known as the skate, or Raja arenacea, yielding his very first paper as a co-author studying serine threonine protein phosphatase regulation. He would have 5 additional papers on using the little skate as a model for studying transporter protein function and hepatocyte function, including one in the journal PNAS. After college, Dr. Seward entered the MD PH.D. program at the University of Colorado School of Medicine and Graduate School. In addition to training in medicine, he completed his PhD in biochemistry and molecular genetics, studying histone methylation regulation, a key component of chromatin structure-driven gene expression. Dr. Seward was the lead author on a Nature Structural and Molecular Biology paper and co-author on a second Nature Structure and Molecular Biology paper on RNA polymerase phosphorylation. After the MD PhD program, Dr. Seward moved to the University of Michigan for anatomic pathology residency and molecular genetic pathology fellowship. During his fellowship, Dr. Seward engaged in research, studying the role of sirtuin-5, a highly conserved signaling molecule involved in metabolic regulation, its role in osteosarcoma biology. Given his strong commitment to a physician-scientist career in academic medicine with a strong interest in understanding signaling and metabolic pathways in the context of cancer genetics, I was delighted when Dr. Seward decided to join the Department of Pathology and Laboratory Medicine at the Larner College of Medicine at the University of Vermont. He is a member of the department's Redox Biology and Pathology Research Group and a member of the University of Vermont Cancer Center. Dr. Seward's research truly brings the bedside to bench to bedside model of research to life. His research focuses on the role of mutational variants in the gene STK11, a serine threonine kinase, in non-small cell lung cancer with simultaneous KRAS mutations. His work is leading to better understanding of the role of STK11 mutations in responsiveness of lung cancers to immunotherapies by understanding how STK11 loss of function mutations lead to anti-tumor immune evasion in non-small cell lung carcinoma. His research synergizes with his clinical service in genomic medicine with the Department of Pathology and Laboratory Medicine, where he is an attending pathologist identifying and interpreting the clinical significance of cancer genomic variants to inform the cancer treatments that will be most effective for our patients. In addition to his research and clinical service, Dr. Seward loves to share his knowledge and experience with trainees across the learning spectrum. He mentors high school, undergraduate, and graduate students, as well as a pathology resident in research and career pathways, and serves on PhD dissertation committees for several graduate students. A senior faculty member and chair from another department chose to spend their sabbatical engaged in research in his laboratory. Dr. Seward also programs in R and has helped graduate students and faculty with their projects requiring programming. He is an active member of the Genomic Medicine Transdisciplinary Team of the University of Vermont Cancer Center. Dr. Seward is an outstanding early career physician scientist. I am very pleased that Dr. David Seward is our inaugural Elmer R. Huber Early Career Green and Gold Professor in Pathology and Laboratory Medicine.
Thank you very much, Dr. Leonard. And again, congratulations on recruiting Dr. Seward to our faculty here at the Larner College of Medicine and the University of Vermont. We will now present Dr. Seward his medallion, marking his status as one who holds an endowed faculty position at the University of Vermont. May he also wear it at significant UVM functions and ceremonies. Dr. Seward, will you please prepare to receive your medallion? Dr. David Seward is a highly respected researcher, clinician, teacher, and scholar. He has dedicated his career to improving the lives of patients and their families. Through his research, teaching, and leadership, he contributes to a constant effort to improve our ability to care for patients. His work has brought great distinction to the Larner College of Medicine and the University of Vermont. Dr. David Seward, the inaugural Elmer R. Huber Early Career Green and Gold Professor in Pathology and Laboratory Medicine, we honor you today with this medallion, which serves as an enduring symbol of your excellence as you strive to achieve this excellence in all aspects of your professional life. Congratulations, Dr. Seward. I would now like to invite Dr. Seward to address us.
Good evening, everyone. First, I'd like to thank Dean Page, Provost Prelock, and Dr. Leonard for their thoughtful words, and also offer my congratulations to my co-investee, Dr. Sarah Nowak. I am truly honored to be recognized today as the inaugural Elmer R. Huber Early Career Green and Gold Professor in Pathology and Laboratory Medicine. As Dean Page mentioned, this endowed position has been made possible by a generous gift from UVM's own Dr. Sally Huber in honor of her late parents. As you've heard, Dr. Huber is an internationally recognized scientist whose sustained career excellence has been marked by continuous extramural funding success, both goals to which I currently aspire. I recognize and wish to stress to the audience how essential financial support is to the success of young investigators like myself and Dr. Nowak. With the support of this professorship, I look forward to continuing my research and establishing my career as an extramurally supported physician scientist. I trust my efforts will make Dr. Huber, the UVM community, the Department of Pathology, my current and former mentors, as well as my family and friends, proud. To that end, I'm so happy to see some familiar names in the virtual audience. It makes me realize how much I'm looking forward to seeing people in the flesh again. But I suppose in some ways this format also represents a COVID silver lining of sorts, as I suspect attendance at a traditional in-person ceremony would be dramatically limited by geography. Now, as a result of this format, I'm afforded the rare opportunity to publicly recognize and thank some of the people who have so positively impacted my life and career, and have them in the audience to hear it. Frankly, if I were to name everyone, I'd easily abuse my allotted time, but there are people I do wish to specifically name. First, Dr. Jim Boyer, Ensign Professor of Medicine at Yale Medical School. Dr. Boyer has been one of my most treasured mentors and role models since I showed up in his summer lab on Mount Desert Island in 1995 as a skinny 16-year-old high school kid from rural Maine. The opportunities he's provided have quite literally shaped all of my successes. It would be impossible to thank him adequately, so I hope to honor him to the best of my ability by paying it forward. Second, the late Dr. Ned Bellatori, Professor of Environmental Medicine at the University of Rochester Medical School. I met Ned in Jim's lab at MDIBL and later joined Ned in Rochester to conduct research prior to attending medical and graduate school. There isn't a day that goes by that I don't think of Ned and draw on the experiences I gained working with him. He was an extraordinary scientist and a wonderful man. Dr. Steve Swope, my undergraduate thesis advisor at Williams College, and possibly the most energetic person I've ever met. I mean, this was a guy who used to write grants in his office while running on a treadmill. I think about that whenever I'm feeling run down, and it gets me right back on track. And of course, the unforgettable Harry Sheehy, my basketball coach at Williams, with whom I spent 4 memorable years learning about commitment and accountability, not only to my teammates, but to myself. Those lessons were hard won, and their impact continues to be felt and appreciated. Dr. David Bentley, Professor of Biochemistry at the University of Colorado, and my PhD thesis advisor. Our work together was exciting and terrifying, and I would argue we fundamentally changed the field of chromatin biology. I greatly admire the careful and precise way David approaches science, and to this day, I think about the time he told me, and forgive me for paraphrasing, "There's too much loose talk in science. Be specific and back it up." Dr. David Lombard, Associate Professor of Pathology at the University of Michigan. I met David during my residency training in anatomic pathology, and I jumped at the chance to stay connected to basic research during those challenging clinical training years. David and I hit it off right away, and he remains a close mentor and a valued colleague. Dr. Debra Leonard, Chair of Pathology here at UVM, who offered me the opportunity to fulfill my longstanding goal of pursuing a career as a physician scientist. I often tell the story of our first meeting in the fall of 2015 at the annual Association of Molecular Pathology Conference. For those of you who don't know, Debra is a big deal in molecular pathology, so much so that it took nearly 6 hours of careful tracking before I was able to have a conversation with her without awkwardly interrupting a conversation with another attendee. And Dr. Yvonne Jansen-Heininger, Professor of Pathology here at UVM. Yvonne is a valued colleague, collaborator, trusted mentor, and friend. Since arriving at UVM, I have leaned on Yvonne as I navigate the perilous process of establishing my lab and research program. She acts as a sounding board, a support system, and a reality check. And while I know my hard-headedness is not always easy to manage, I hope she knows how much I appreciate her advice and her support. And finally, my family, without which none of this would be possible. My parents, Dave and Mary, who early on ingrained the value of dedicated effort, but also the importance of bringing joy to all things and taking pride in a job well done. Their support and love never waver, and I recognize every day how lucky I am to have them as parents. To my siblings, Tessie, Abby, and Willie, who've acted as role models and confidants over the years, and to my wife, Dr. Melanie Bowie, a gifted physician scientist in her own right, and to our kids, Vivian, Tripp, and Asher, There's nothing I look forward to more than coming home every day and seeing their smiling faces. Whatever the world sets before me, I know I can depend upon my family's love and support to help me through it. In closing, I again would like to thank the UVM community for welcoming me, and I promise my most sincere effort in setting the bar high for the next investee of the Elmer R. Huber Early Career Green and Gold Professor in Pathology and Laboratory Medicine. Thank you.
Thank you so much for those words, Dr. Seward, and congratulations again to both you and Dr. Nowak. I would now like to invite the person whose generosity has brought us here today, Dr. Sally Huber, to share her thoughts on this occasion with all of us. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Huber.
Thank you. I'd like to thank Provost Prelock, Dean Page, and our department chair, Dr. Leonard, for their kind words and for the opportunity to speak to you today. However, today is not about me, and although we are here to honor my parents, who really made the professorships possible, we are here to honor Sarah and David, the inaugural recipients of these green and gold professorships in the Department of Pathology and Laboratory Medicine as they continue their careers. Pursuing a career in research can prove difficult, especially in these times of COVID. But these two individuals have the potential to become highly successful stars in their respective fields of research. This is the judgment of the department faculty committee, which selected them for the professorships, and should give Sarah and David significant satisfaction that their peers view them so favorably. Whatever the difficulties which lie ahead of you, and there will be setbacks of one type or another, please remember that every investigator before you has gone through them too. You can make it with determination and perseverance and dedication. Also, please remember, we all do this as a team in one way or the other, interacting with students, staff, and colleagues, with each of these as an integral part of our ultimate success. My hope is that not only will you both succeed in life and your careers, but also, as possible, help others to succeed. If this small award helps, perhaps at some point in the future, you will be able to help a young investigator in their early stage career as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Huber, for sharing your thoughts with us. As we reach the end of our program, I would like to thank the speakers who have joined me this afternoon and say again how deeply grateful we are that one of our own, Dr. Sally Huber, made this important opportunity possible in endowing these early career professorships to Drs. Nowak and Seward, based on their dedication for improving health in our community. We take pride every day in the important research, teaching, and clinical care that our medical faculty members carry out here at the Larner College of Medicine and the UVM Medical Center. So much of the work they do is enriched by the support of our donors, including many people who are watching today. Our thanks go out to all of you. I must thank the people behind the scenes for putting together the magic of a virtual investiture. They make it look easy, but I know it takes a lot of work, so thanks to them. And I want to thank everyone for attending this very special double investiture to honor Drs. Nowak and Seward. I hope that soon we will all be able to gather together in person for events such as this. And I appreciate your coming together today from across the country and beyond. Please stay well and stay safe.